there's a revival of Niki now. What do you think about it? What's your feeling?
Well, I don't know if it's of Niki. It's Niki and Jean, because it's Jean's centennial this year. So there's a lot of exhibitions that are happening around both of them. I think both their work is terribly contemporary because of what's happening around the world for different reasons. Jean, in regards to the machine and our relationship to the machine, he made ones that were free, that were making comments about decolonization, that he called out the end of patriarchy in 1970 for the anniversary of the New Realist. And then Niki, I think, speaks very much to the younger generation. Also, she's addressing deep subjects and often with a sense of humor.
Deep subjects like what?
Like abortion, sexuality, fluidity. She said...
really? Fluidity too?
Yeah, she said, why choose one when you can be both? So this is addressed in her films, in some of her writings, in some graphics. So yeah, but in her films very much so.
So she's very much in the zeitgeist, right?
Well, she addressed few issues, also her relationship to public art. And being able to go in and out. So the relationship to body, obviously.
And you are in charge of the estate, right?
So Niki created two foundations, one to manage and protect the Tarot Garden, and another one for the rest of her oeuvre. And I'm in both. We're 3 trustees in the NCAF, which is the American foundation that she created after she left Europe and returned to America, and was really thinking about her work after her life. It all started with Jean's death, which was very overwhelming, let's put it that way. And it was very difficult. She had the support of Pontus, but sometimes that was complicated too, because he was a museum man. She wasn't going to be an artist's widow because she was an artist. So there was only so much she could carry.
Yes.
Between finishing the Cyclope according to Jean's wishes for it to be accessible to the public after the donation to the French government, and the wonderful work the CNAP has been doing to support this work and maintain it with...
So she decided to have a strategy for her own work.
Yes. After that, she realized she needed to protect first the Giardino dei Tarocchi, because that's her most important baby.
Mm-hmm. In Tuscany?
In Tuscany, yes.
And
in the Maremma.
For the rest of the work, what was her aim? What did she say?
It was to organize it as quite a few artists, and she's one of the earlier ones to create this in the United States.
It works.
C'est bon?
Oui.
To create a foundation to manage the work in general. Voilà l'ambiance. It's the spirits. To manage her work and have it accessible to the public. So hence our involvement in so many exhibitions worldwide.
And how do you influence the memory, how can we say?
Well, it's always human interactions. It's meeting people.
Because there was a movie recently in French theaters.
Yes.
You didn't like it?
I think it's, she's a public figure, and people have the right to create their own interpretation of Niki, but that is not my
vision.
It's not that it's not my vision. It's not my responsibility. My responsibility is the work, the scientific study of the work, the exposure to the public, and so there's lots of novels. There's lots of.
Yes.
I think she's inspiring to many people, and that's great. But that is not what I'm focusing on. My work is about her work, not about her life.
And what do you think? I think it's a bit delicate, but I know it's a bit delicate, but what do you think about the art market? Do you think she's still undervalued?
Yes.
Because for a while she produced a lot, right?
Yeah. To build her garden.
Ah.
Everything she produced to create her work and be independent. To this day, the Tarot Garden is 100% independent. We function on the tickets and the boutique. And she created a boutique, she created merchandising to help support her garden. So the idea is freedom and independence, and to keep that spirit so that people can come and continue to touch the sculptures, to go in and out. The idea is to keep the spirit of what she produced accessible to the public. And that is
At that time, when she produced so much, what was the art dealer around?
Well, Jean-Gabriel
Already
was, and then she made 2 big donations also, one in Germany, one in France, because she was thinking of her legacy and access to the public.
Mm-hmm. And the dealers, who were they?
At the time, there was Jean-Gabriel Mitterrand and the Gimpo. Those were her, and there was also Jeffrey Loria, who's a New Yorker, who helped produce, he produced some of her works also. But it wasn't. He's not a dealer per se. But she wanted to create big things. So when she arrived in America, Jean-Gabriel introduced her to Cindy Pritzker. And after a bit of a clash, they became super friends. Cindy from the Pritzker Prize from architecture. And then she
was a real character, right?
Oh, she was amazing. She was a force of nature. It was so funny, this friendship, because they became really close friends. Mm-hmm. And Niki built a dragon in her property for her grandchildren.
But today, her audience is mainly in Europe or in America?
It's actually pretty global. There's about to be the Mamac in Nice, which is going through renovations right now, is about to have an exhibition in Brazil because of this exchange between France and Brazil. So throughout the Americas, in Asia also, there's an interest for her work. The Japanese actually were very early
buyers?
Yeah, because of this whole relationship to dragons. Yeah. We have some great letters of Jean saying how jealous he is in like 60s that, she's more famous than he is in Japan.
And what do you think will be the impact of the show at Grand Palais?
Well, I have lots of hope because I think it's a very ambitious exhibition, and it's about friendships in art and human relationships. There's one that's just opening, or that's just opened in Germany called Five Friends. And it's Rauschenberg, Jasper Johns, Max Cunningham, John Cage, and I forget the 5th one. But I think it's something dans l'air du temps, about how friendships created possibilities and how they supported each other. And Johns and Rauschenbergs were close friends of Niki. Rauschenberg also collaborated with Jean. So there was officially a fight between New York and Paris, but the artists weren't fighting.
Yeah.
They were friends, and they helped each other, and they supported each other, and they...
So now you speak about who? In general?
In general, I think
Yeah.
like
So what could be the impact of the show at Phalle?
I think the impact is about seeing the potential, and so it's about j'ai un trou. Ah zut alors comment ça s'appelle? Bon, anyway, this desire for a better world is one word. And how art can bring that. So Pontus, people don't realize how he revolutionized museums. All museums today are a result of what he created. He was the first director of many institutions all around the world. He brought cinema, he brought dance.
And he was a
brought
major
everything.
player for the career of Niki.
He was a supporter, and he was an early, he saw her work very early on. I always say he maybe totally didn't get it, but he got it. So I think he was too much the same generation, and things that Niki raises is very readable to a younger audience because society has caught up, and I think it's the thing with avant-garde artists.
But do you think that also she's well looked again because of her trauma? Or do you think the trauma is too much in the middle of everything?
I think that's very reductive. I think no, I think her work is not because of trauma. Many people, unfortunately, are traumatized. It doesn't make them artists that people can relate to. So I don't think that's it. I think it's her. If she hadn't become an artist, she would probably have become a dangerous person, and I would have probably never known her because she would not have survived.
So you, until what age, when did you happen to know her? I mean, when she, how old were you when she died?
I was 30 years old.
13?
30. 30.
So super.
She
So you were very close to her?
very close.
And you were living not far from her in America?
Well, first I was living in New York when she moved to California, and then when we moved to California, we didn't move too close because I had to protect myself. To not get swallowed up. Clearly, I was not successful. Just to have a few years of my own freedom, shall I say. But I started working for Niki, I was 14 years old.
Wow. Bon, merci beaucoup, thanks a lot.
You're very welcome.